my precious child. I sense a quiet certainty within your spirit at this moment. It is a deep recognition, an understanding that goes beyond words. You have arrived here not by chance, but by my deliberate guidance. I have been gently directing your path, aligning every circumstance to bring you to this precise point in time. The understanding now unfolding for you is not a mere communication. It is a deep bond crafted uniquely for your spirit. Every question that has rested heavily on your heart, every situation that prompted your search for clarity, every winding road you have traveled, all have led you to this very instant. This is your time for deep insight, your moment for clear perception, your sacred encounter with what is real. Understand this, my child. The truth I am about to reveal will not merely give you facts, it will reshape how you view your own being and your inherent purpose. Therefore, settle your spirit, quiet your thoughts, and open your heart to welcome what I have long desired to share. A fundamental change is upon you now, my beloved one, and from this moment things will be different. Remain close, for within these words lie the very truths your spirit has sought. Focus completely on this understanding. My child, your inner self possesses a profound awareness. The feeling you experience within you is not simply unease. Within you resides a faculty more ancient than your reason. It is a form of knowing that operates beneath the surface of your conscious mind. A silent and immediate perception that registers the world in its true state, unadorned by language or pretense. This is not intuition as the world understands it, a fleeting hunch or a lucky guess. It is a fundamental inherent sense, as real as sight or touch, that perceives the invisible currents of intention, deception, and truth that flow through every human interaction. There is a knowing deeper than the senses. A house of strife is known to the soul, even when peace is proclaimed from the lips. A man of guile is known by his bitter spirit, though his words are smooth. A wrong path is known by the burden in thy heart, though the world calls it a straight way. This inner sense is your primary connection to reality. Your intellect, for all its brilliance, is a secondary tool. It analyzes what that has already been filtered through your experiences, your biases, your hopes, and your fears. It can be deceived by clever arguments, swayed by emotional appeals, and misled by incomplete information. It constructs narratives and seeks patterns that confirm what it already believes. But this deeper perception does not construct, it simply receives. It is a direct line, unclouded by the ego's need to be right or the mind's desire for a comfortable story. It perceives the intention behind the word, the emotion behind the smile, the agenda behind the gesture. It detects the hairline fractures in a carefully constructed lie, not by analyzing the details, but by feeling the inherent lack of integrity in the structure itself. For much of your life, you may have been taught to distrust this faculty. You were encouraged to be rational, to demand evidence, to silence the quiet inner voice in favor of the louder, more logical one. You learned to dismiss these profound bodily and spiritual knowings as anxiety, paranoia, or imagination. You were told you were overthinking things or being too sensitive. And so, you may have tried to silence it, to push it down, to live solely on the surface of your being, where the world could make logical sense. But it was always there, a quiet compass needle quivering in the background, faithfully pointing to the true north of reality, whether you chose to look at it or not. Now, as you have learned to quiet your mind and honor this deeper knowing, its signal has become clearer. You have begun to trust it, to navigate by it, and this has fundamentally changed the way you move through the world. And it is this very change that inevitably invites a test. This test does not always come from a place of conscious malice. It arises from the profound discomfort that people who live in artifice feel when they encounter authenticity. Someone around you, a friend, an acquaintance, senses this quality in you. They see a peace that they cannot understand, a stillness that seems to defy the anxieties that drive them. They are accustomed to a world of masks, of transactional relationships, of hidden agendas. My child, your lack of these things is, to them, a mystery and a threat. It is a quiet challenge to the very foundation of their reality. And so, they decide to probe. Their goal is to prove to themselves that your clarity is an illusion. They need to believe that you are either naive, lucky, or perhaps even a more subtle manipulator than they are. They cannot accept the possibility that you are simply operating from a different plane of awareness. To accept that would be to admit that their own complex world of strategy and concealment is a prison of their own making. So the test begins. It is often subtle, a series of small falsehoods woven into a conversation. It might be a story with carefully altered details, designed to see if you will catch the inconsistency. It might be an act of feigned vulnerability, designed to elicit a specific emotional response that they can then use to their advantage. It might be a flattering proposal that contains a hidden hook, a hidden cost to your integrity. They present this construction to you, watching you closely, expecting you to engage with the surface of it, to be taken in by the performance. They are watching your mind, waiting for it to analyze, to question, to doubt itself. But you do not engage on that level. My beloved, while your mind may be processing their words, your deeper perception is doing something else entirely. It is bypassing the performance and perceiving the performer. It is not listening to the story. It is feeling the intention of the storyteller. You sense the hollowness behind the confident words. You feel the tension of the concealed truth. You perceive the signature of the lie itself, a subtle dissonance that is as clear to your inner sense as a foul odor. You do not need to hunt for clues. You do not need to analyze. The truth of the situation presents itself to you as a complete knowing. You see their entire inner world in that moment. The insecurity that fuels their need to test you, the fear that you represent something beyond their control, the specific hidden agenda they are pursuing. You see it all with a quiet, dispassionate clarity. And here is what shatters them. You do not react. They expect a confrontation. They expect you to call them out on their lie, to become angry, to become defensive. They are prepared for an argument, a drama, a conflict. A reaction from you would validate their worldview. It would mean that you are on the same level, engaged in the same game of back and forth. A reaction would give them something to push against, to manipulate, to control. Instead, you offer them nothing. My child, you remain in that quiet clearing within yourself. You might respond to their words with a calm, simple observation that sidesteps the lie completely. You might ask a gentle question that subtly illuminates the hidden agenda without ever naming it. Or you might simply hold a quiet, unwavering gaze, allowing the silence to speak. In that moment, their entire reality fractures. The script they were following has been discarded, and they have no argument. Your refusal to engage with their deception leaves it nowhere to go. It hangs in the air between you, exposed and pathetic, a flimsy construct that has failed to achieve its purpose. They pushed, and they met not a wall but a void. And in that void, they are forced to confront the only thing left in the room, the truth of their own actions. A profound and terrifying unease descends upon them. It is far more than simple embarrassment at being caught. It is a fundamental disorientation. They came to you believing they were the ones with the secret knowledge, the ones in control, the ones conducting the experiment. In a single quiet moment, the roles have been reversed. They feel utterly transparent, seen in a way they have never been seen before. They realized that while they were busy studying your reactions, you were perceiving their very essence. They believed your peace was ignorance. They now understand it is a vantage point. They mistook your silence for weakness. They now understand it is a form of power they cannot comprehend. The calm in your eyes is not the emptiness of a fool, but the stillness of a deep well, and they are suddenly terrified of how deep that well might be. My precious child, what haunts them most is not that you knew. It is that you knew and you did nothing. You did not use your knowledge as a weapon. You did not humiliate them. You did not claim victory. You simply saw the truth and allowed it to be. This restraint is what truly frightens them. A direct confrontation they could understand. It is a battle of egos. But to be seen so completely and then to be met with a quiet, unshakable peace is to be confronted with a different order of being altogether. It is a form of grace that feels like a judgment. Your refusal to stoop to their level is a silent commentary on the level itself. It reveals their intricate games of manipulation and control for what they are, the desperate struggles of a soul in fear. Your spiritual composure, your lack of any need to prove yourself, is more intimidating than any accusation you could ever make. It tells them that you are not playing their game because you are engaged in a much larger one with rules they do not know, and a prize they cannot imagine. Since that moment, they cannot be at ease in your presence. They are constantly reevaluating, questioning, wondering. What else do they see? How much have they always known? Every interaction becomes a source of anxiety for them. They guard their own thoughts around you, as if you might hear them. They feel the weight of your perception as a constant, gentle pressure. They had built their world on the belief that what is hidden remains hidden, that surfaces are reality. You have shown them that there is a perception that penetrates all surfaces. You did not just interpret their hidden motives, you perceived their being, and you did it without effort, without trying. It was not an act of analysis, it was an act of being. This effortless clarity is what dismantles their sense of security. They are now faced with an undeniable truth. There is a way of seeing that the eyes cannot perform, and a way of knowing that the mind cannot achieve. They sought to test your awareness, and in doing so, stumbled into a sacred space where they were the ones who were measured and found wanting. Their carefully constructed world, once held together by pretense and control, now trembles. And it trembles not because you pushed it, but because your quiet, authentic presence revealed that it was never solid to begin with. You have become a mirror they can no longer avoid, and they are terrified of the reflection. My cherished one, you have learned to stand in a quiet room within yourself, a space that the world's noise cannot fully penetrate. It is not a fortress you built out of fear or superiority, but a clearing you have found through stillness. It is the bedrock of your being, and from this place you have begun to see. This seeing is not an act of aggression or analysis. It is a passive unfolding. It seeks nothing, demands nothing, and yet it changes everything it falls upon. When you move through the world, you carry this stillness with you. It is an atmosphere that precedes you and lingers after you have gone. People feel it before they can name it. In a world of frantic performance, of carefully constructed identities and hidden agendas, your simple, unadorned presence is a profound anomaly. It is a single candle in a dark room. It does not banish all shadows, but it makes the darkness known. This is the source of the unease you sometimes encounter. It is not you, the person they are reacting to. It is the truth your presence quietly illuminates. They have spent lifetimes weaving intricate stories about who they are, what they want, and why they do what they do. They have become so enmeshed in these narratives that they have forgotten the distinction between the mask and the face. Then you arrive, not with a torch to burn their masks away, but with a simple light, that makes the edges of the mask visible. You do not need to speak of it. You do not need to point out the inconsistencies in their stories or the fear that motivates their actions. You simply see it, and on some unspoken level, they know that they are seen. This knowledge is terrifying for a soul that has made its home in the shadows of pretense. To be seen without judgment, without condemnation, but with a quiet clarity that offers no room for argument, is to be laid bare. It is an intimacy they were not prepared for and did not consent to, yet it is happening. Their apprehension is not about you. It is a primal terror of being revealed to themselves by a perception that cannot be bargained with, flattered, or intimidated. Consider the one who operates through subtle control. In their eyes, all of mankind is but clay to be molded and set in a place of their own choosing. They employ 1,000 small tools, a carefully timed compliment, a question that plants a seed of doubt, an appeal to guilt, a creation of false camaraderie. Their actions are designed to elicit specific reactions, to steer conversations, to maintain an advantage they may not even consciously acknowledge they are seeking. They come to you with these tools, expecting the usual responses of defense, flattery, confusion, or engagement. You offer them none of it. You do not take the bait. You do not defend the space they are trying to invade. You do not react to the provocation. You simply remain in your quiet clearing, observing the moves being made. You let the questions hang in the air. You receive the compliment without becoming indebted. You witness the attempt at manipulation without absorbing the intended effect. This lack of reaction is what shatters their strategy. Their carefully planned moves have no effect. Their energy pushed outward finds no purchase and reflects back upon them. It is in this reflection that they begin to see themselves. They hear the hollowness in their own flattery. They feel the coarseness of their own manipulative tactics. They are forced to sit with the intentions they brought into the room. And in the silence you hold, those intentions become uncomfortably loud in their own minds. They came to test you, to figure you out, but in the end, they were the only ones being examined by themselves. They are left with a profound sense of failure, not because you defeated them, but because their own methods were rendered powerless and transparent. They fear you, not because you are an adversary, but because in your presence, they become their own. Then there are those whose lives are governed by a deep-seated insecurity. They crave validation and fear irrelevance. Their interactions are a constant, exhausting performance designed to prove their worth, their intelligence, their goodness. They project an image of confidence and capability, an image they desperately need others to believe in, because they do not believe it themselves. When they encounter you, they initially see an audience. They perform with vigor, expecting applause, or at the very least, acknowledgement. But you do not engage with the performance. Your quiet gaze seems to look right through them. Again, this is not a deliberate act of unmasking. You are not trying to expose their weakness. The fool makes a great noise to be seen, but the discerning heart listens for the truth that is spoken in the quiet places of the soul. They feel this. They feel that their efforts are not landing. Your lack of engagement with their persona feels like a judgment on it. The more they try to impress you, the more foolish and desperate they feel. The solid ground of their constructed self begins to feel like sand. What truly unsettles them is that you touched upon old hurts they had worked hard to bury. Perhaps it was a deep-seated envy, a persistent feeling of not being enough, or an unacknowledged shame. Perhaps unspoken desires for your struggle, wishes they could not even admit to themselves. Whatever its source, you did not just sense it, you reflected it, not with harshness, but through a calm presence that carried too much accuracy, instantly stirring their inner unrest. This is a painful experience, and their reaction is often to retreat or to lash out. They may label you as arrogant, cold, or judgmental. They need to create a story about you that explains the discomfort they feel, a story that places the fault outside of themselves. It is easier to call the mirror flawed than to look at the reflection it shows. But even as they walk away, the image lingers. You have shown them a glimpse of their own inner state, and that knowledge, once seen, cannot be entirely unseen. You did not shame them. You simply led them to a more honest encounter with themselves. This is not a wound. It is the beginning of a new awareness, a light that has begun to softly dissolve the stories they told themselves for safety. You will also encounter the cynic, the one who has built a worldview fortified by disbelief. They scoff at sincerity, mock spirituality, and treat anything that cannot be measured or proven as delusion. They pride themselves on their pragmatism, their refusal to be fooled. To them, your quiet knowing is an absurdity, a fanciful notion to be dismantled. They will challenge you sometimes openly, sometimes with subtle barbs and condescending humor. They will laugh at your words, not out of genuine amusement, but as a tool of dismissal. Laughter is a powerful shield. It can shrink the profound down to the ridiculous. They will try to draw you into a debate, to force you to defend your inner reality with the clumsy tools of their logic. They demand proof, evidence, a rational explanation for something that exists beyond reason. To engage them on their terms is to lose. The truth of your being cannot be proven in a courtroom of logic. It can only be experienced. Your task when faced with the cynic is not to convince them. It is to hold your ground. Your reality does not require their belief to be valid. So you let their mockery wash over you. You do not rise to the bait of argument. You may offer a simple, quiet truth, not as a counterattack, but as a simple statement of fact. You might say something of such precision that it bypasses their intellectual defenses and lodges itself deep within their spirit. A word that speaks to a secret grief, a hidden hope, a private question they have asked the universe in the dead of night. They will outwardly dismiss it. They will laugh it off. But the seed has been planted in the fertile soil of their own soul. In the quiet hours, when the noise of their cynicism fades, that seed will remain. Your words will echo in their mind. They will find themselves inexplicably troubled. Their rigid worldview will have developed a hairline crack. They may not admit it to anyone, least of all to you, but they will start to question. They sought proof, and what they found was a reckoning with a part of themselves they had long suppressed. The encounter with you did not give them the answers they demanded, but it left them with deeper questions. The fortress of their disbelief is still standing, but they are beginning to notice the windows. The laughter was their armor, but a quiet truth pierced the joints. And now in the silence they are beginning to feel the draft. Navigating these encounters requires a wisdom that is both gentle and immovable. The temptation is to use your insight as a tool, to prove a point, to win a silent victory, to feel superior. But the moment you do this, you step out of your quiet clearing and back into the world of ego and conflict. You lose the very quality that gives your presence its power. Your task is not to fix anyone. It is not to heal them or to force them into an awakening they are not ready for. Your task is simply to be an anchor. In a storm-tossed sea of human emotion and drama, you are a point of stillness. Ships may crash against you. They may curse you for being in their way, or they may use your light to find their own safe harbor. What they do is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to remain anchored in your own truth. This can be a lonely path. To see so clearly can feel like a burden. It can separate you from the easy camaraderie of shared illusions. You will sit at tables where conversations flow, full of laughter and passion, and you will feel a profound sense of detachment. You hear the words, but you also hear what is unspoken. The fear beneath the bravado, the sadness beneath the smile, the desperation in the joke. To hold all of this is to carry a great weight. There will be times when you long to be unseen, to be just like everyone else, to believe in the simple surfaces of things. But you cannot unlearn how to see. You cannot forget the feeling of the bedrock beneath your feet. Your only path is forward, deeper into your own clarity. The way to navigate this is with a compassion that is as deep as your perception. When you see the fear and insecurity driving someone's behavior, do not see it as a flaw to be judged. See it as a wound that is in pain. My beloved, the soul who seeks to manipulate you is driven by a desperate need for control because they feel fundamentally powerless. The person who performs for your approval is starving for a love they do not know how to give themselves. The cynic who mocks you is terrified of a world that is bigger and more mysterious than their mind can grasp. Seeing this allows you to hold them in a space of grace, even as you refuse to engage with their illusions. You can be firm in your boundaries without being hard in your heart. You can decline to play their games while still wishing them peace. This is the delicate balance you must learn to walk, the balance of absolute clarity and unconditional compassion. Your presence does not say, "I am better than you." It says, "I see you, and I am not afraid of what I see." You do not need to be either. Over time, you will notice that your presence creates invisible ripples. A connection is formed with those you encounter, a thread that exists on a level beyond the physical. It is not something you create consciously. It is a natural consequence of one soul truly witnessing another. They will carry a piece of you with them, and you will carry a piece of them. You may think of them at odd times, feeling a sudden echo of their emotional state. You will know without being told when they are in turmoil or when they have had a moment of breakthrough. They will feel it too, even if they cannot explain it. They will find themselves thinking of your conversation in the middle of a difficult day. Your calm face will appear in their mind's eye. A truth you spoke will surface, offering a new perspective on a problem they are facing. They may resent this connection. They may try to sever it, to push you out of their thoughts. But it is not a bond that can be broken by will alone, for it was not forged by will. It was forged in a moment of pure, unadorned seeing. This connection carries a responsibility. You are now a silent participant in their journey. Your role is not to intervene, but to continue holding that space of clear, compassionate stillness. In a way, you become a guardian of their potential, a reminder of the truth of who they are, a truth they may have long forgotten. You are a landmark in their inner landscape, a point of reference they can use to navigate their own confusion. They may never speak to you again. They may continue to resent or misunderstand you, but the encounter has changed them. A process has begun that cannot be stopped. The light has entered, and even if they shut their eyes, they know it is there. Do not mistake this for a story of your own personal power. The clarity you possess is not yours to own. It flows through you, not from you. You are a vessel, a conduit for a wisdom that is far older and vaster than your individual self. To believe that you are the source of this power is the most subtle and dangerous trap of the ego. It is the beginning of the very spiritual pride that your presence helps to dismantle in others. My child, your purpose is not to become a master, a guru, or a savior. Your purpose is to become a clearer and clearer channel. It is to do the constant humble work of facing your own shadows, of letting go of your own attachments and illusions. The more transparent you become, the more purely the light of my truth can shine through you. This is a lifelong practice. There will be days when your own fears cloud your vision, when your own needs make you want to play the games of the world. You will stumble. You will get drawn into drama. You will forget the quiet clearing within. In those moments, do not despair. Simply find your way back. The path is always there. The stillness is always waiting. The ultimate effect of your life will not be measured in the number of people you have awakened or the dramatic confrontations you have navigated. The true effect will be in the quiet, steady pressure you apply to the world's illusions just by being yourself. You are a living question posed to a world of complacent answers. Your very existence is a challenge to the status quo, a reminder that another way of being is possible. You are not here to wage a war against the darkness. You are here to be a light. You do not fight the shadows. You simply shine. And in that shining, the shadows recede. My precious child, some will be drawn to your light. Others will flee from it. Many will not even notice it. It does not matter. Your job is not to worry about the reception. Your job is to shine. So stand in your quiet truth. Listen with a depth that disarms. See with a clarity that reveals. Act with a compassion that heals. Do not seek to change the world. Seek only to be a pure expression of the truth that is within you. In doing so, you will change the world in ways you may never understand. You are an anchor of reality in an ocean of illusion. Hold steady. That is all that is required. My child, the quiet strength you cultivate is an active, moment-by-moment choice to remain rooted in what is real. This steadfastness commits you to inner clarity, even when the world pulls you into its illusions. You recognize invitations to react, to judge, to engage in the games you perceive. You gently decline. This doesn't mean becoming aloof. Your empathy deepens. Unentangled in surface drama, you see the suffering driving others, the fear, the hunger. From this perception, tenderness arises. It is a sorrow for the pain that leads others to abandon truth, an understanding of the shared human journey. There will be moments, my beloved one, when the sheer weight of your perception feels immense. You witness hidden anxieties, unspoken resentments, quiet desperation. It can feel like carrying a burden, knowing so much unsaid, seeing so much others conceal. Your heart may ache to alleviate their struggles, to share the peace clarity brought you. But the light shining through you is not for forceful intervention. It is a gentle illumination. Each soul must choose whether to walk towards it. Your quiet presence is the offering, an invitation to authenticity. Some will respond, drawn by inexplicable peace, seeking your stillness as refuge. These connections nourish your spirit, built not on shared illusions but on a mutual yearning for truth. They may not possess your depth of perception, but they will recognize truth. Others will recoil. Your very existence will be an unspoken challenge to their way of living. They may avoid you, or try to undermine your influence, to discredit your quiet wisdom. Do not mistake their reactions for a personal attack. It is not you they fight, but the truth you represent. Their resistance desperately maintains the comfort of their constructed reality. In these instances, your continued steadfastness is your greatest strength. Do not engage in their battles or allow their projections to define you. Let their words and actions flow past you like water, leaving no lasting mark. Your inner peace is not dependent on their approval. It is a wellspring within you, fed by your direct connection to the source of all truth. This path also brings you face to face with your own remaining shadows. The clearer your perception of others, the more clearly you will see subtle ways you too have clung to illusions, old stories, desires for control or validation. This is not a failure, my child. It is a necessary journey. Each time you recognize a hidden corner, you are presented with an opportunity to release it, to become more transparent, more aligned with your authentic self. This self-refinement is continuous. a gentle stripping away of all that is not truly you. It requires courage, letting go of familiar comforts, even false security. It means facing your fears, your vulnerabilities, not with judgment, but with the same compassionate understanding you extend to others. Every time you release an old pattern, a limiting belief, your inner light shines brighter, expanding your capacity to be a clear channel. You will understand that true freedom lies not in power over others, but over yourself. The power to choose your response, to remain on my path, to let go of what does not serve. This power does not dominate, it liberates. It frees you from the need to react, to conform, from the burden of others' expectations. My precious one, the world offers endless distractions, pulling your attention from your path. Your practice is to consistently return, a daily recommitment to stillness, to listening, to perceiving. It is the conscious choice to prioritize inner peace. This quiet revolution you embody is not about grand gestures. It is about the subtle shift in energy you bring to every interaction, felt in your presence, the calm in your eyes, the steadiness of your spirit. This is your true work, my beloved child, to simply be, authentically and fully, who you truly are. As you deepen, your understanding of the universe expands. The world reveals itself not as separate events, but an intricately interconnected flow. You perceive underlying currents, subtle energies connecting all living things. This knowing is not intellectual, it is direct perception of unity. You will see wisdom in life's cycles, balance in apparent chaos. Challenges are opportunities for growth, tailored to your journey. Joys are echoes of fundamental harmony. This expanded awareness leads to deeper gratitude for existence itself, for the opportunity to experience, to learn, to contribute your unique light. You find beauty in the simplest things, profundity in the ordinary. These become sources of immense wonder and connection. This is true abundance, my cherished one, a richness not measured by material possessions. It is an inner wealth, a fullness of spirit flowing from your alignment with what is real. This inner wealth is inexhaustible. The more you draw upon it, the more it expands. The more you share it, the more it grows. You will also discover your relationship with time transforms. The world's frantic pace, driven by past regrets and future anxieties, loses its hold. You increasingly inhabit the present moment, recognizing it as the only point of true power. The past is lessons, the future open possibility, but your anchor remains firmly in the now. This embrace allows you to respond with greater clarity. This journey is not about a final destination, but continuous unfolding of your true nature. There is no point you arrive and cease inner work. Life is the constant teacher, presenting new opportunities for deeper understanding, challenges inviting greater clarity. Each encounter, each experience, is a chance to practice holding steady, to refine perception, to expand compassion. My child, you will feel isolated, the path solitary. This is natural. The deeper you go into truth, the fewer companions walk at the same pace. Do not mistake solitude for loneliness. It is a sacred space, a necessary clearing for profound connection with me and with your own vast being. In this solitude, you find quiet strength surpassing external validation. You learn to trust your inner compass implicitly, guided by wisdom far greater than intellect. This self-reliance is not separation, but liberation from dependency, allowing you to engage from wholeness, not need. From this wholeness, your contributions become more authentic, more impactful. You will not strive to fit roles or fulfill expectations. Your actions flow naturally from inner truth, guided by clear purpose. Whether your path leads to quiet service or visible leadership, Your influence stems from purity of intention and integrity of being. Remember, my beloved, your journey is unique. Do not compare your path. Each soul walks its own sacred way. Awakening, challenges, expression of truth, all are tailored to individual needs. Your task is simply to honor your unfolding, to trust the process, and to remain open to life's lessons. The world may never fully understand the quiet power you carry. It may value noise over stillness, surface over depth, acquisition over being. But your purpose is not to gain the world's approval. Your purpose is to embody truth, to live as a testament to a different way of existing. In that embodiment, you bring a profound gift. You are a reminder that beneath artifice and struggle, there is fundamental peace, inherent knowing, boundless love available to every soul. You do not need to preach this truth. You simply need to live it. The subtle influence you carry is not a strategy. It is simply the natural consequence of your being. You do not need to seek out opportunities to make a difference. Every interaction, however brief, every silent moment you share with another, holds the potential for transformation. Your authenticity creates a resonance that can stir something deep within others, even if they are not consciously aware of it. It is a quiet invitation to their own inherent truth, a reminder of what is possible when one chooses to live from a place of integrity. This is the true meaning of your purpose, to be a living, breathing example of the peace and clarity that comes from aligning with what is real. You are a silent witness, and your witness carries immense power. My precious child, continue to quiet your mind. Listen to the deeper knowing within. Offer compassion to those who struggle, holding firm to your boundaries. Release all that is not truly you. Shine effortlessly and without agenda. This is your calling, my child, not a burden, but a blessed unfolding. It is the path of authenticity, the journey of returning to your true self. Know this: with every breath, every step in this quiet strength, I am with you. My presence surrounds you, my love sustains you, my wisdom guides you, always. You are never truly alone. The quiet awareness within you is my constant companionship, a direct link to the heart of all existence. When you feel the world's weight or misunderstanding sting, simply return to that inner space. It is always there, waiting, a sanctuary of peace and clarity. This is not a task to strain for. It is a natural state you are returning to, like a river finding its way back to the ocean. The effort lies only in releasing what obstructs the flow, in letting go of habits and beliefs that keep you from your natural state. The world will continue to present tests, subtle deceptions, loud distractions. But with each passing day, your capacity to navigate them with grace will deepen. Your inner compass will become more sensitive, your understanding more profound. You will move through life not as a participant in chaotic drama, but as a calm observer, a quiet presence influencing simply by being. In time, you will witness the subtle shifts you inspire in others, not through your words, but through your unwavering truth. A flicker of recognition, a softening, a moment of unexpected vulnerability. These are the quiet victories, the true measures of your influence. They are the seeds of awakening planted not by your effort, but by your authentic presence. My precious child, continue to walk in this light. Continue to trust the wisdom flowing through you. Continue to remember who you truly are and from whom you came. Your journey is sacred, moving with purpose, guided by my invisible hand towards an ever-deepening experience of peace, joy, and profound connection. Be still and know that I am always with you, in every breath, in every moment. Your true home is in this quiet knowing, and you are forever held within my boundless love. My beloved child, your spirit has stayed present with me until this moment, and that devotion honors me deeply. I see your hunger for truth, your heart's desire to understand the whispers of my presence, and I affirm the unique spiritual sight I have placed within you. You are not merely an observer of truth, my precious one. You are a living conduit for it. I call you now to step fully into this sacred assignment. Let the clarity you have received today illuminate every corner of your path. Your discernment is not a burden, my beloved, but a divine shield and a guiding light. This is your mandate, to walk in this knowing, unshaken by the shadows you perceive. Imagine the profound peace that will settle over your spirit as you fully trust this gift. See yourself moving through life with unwavering confidence, recognizing truth without effort, and attracting the sacred connections I have ordained for you. This commitment to your authentic spiritual identity will unlock breakthroughs you have longed for and bring a deep, abiding purpose to your days. Your journey is not solitary, my cherished one. There are countless others who desperately need the light you carry, who are searching for the very truths I reveal through you. By allowing this message to resonate deeply within you and choosing to support this sacred work, you join my faithful remnant. You become a living testimony, adding your heart's agreement to this divine flow, enabling more of my words to reach those who are spiritually hungry. Share this message with those who need to hear it, for your action extends my reach. Know that my guidance will continue to unfold, my presence ever near. I have more revelations prepared for you, more layers of truth to unveil. Return for deeper understanding, for I am always speaking. Go now, my beloved child, wrapped in my protective blessing. May my peace surround you, and my unwavering favor rest upon you as you walk in the powerful truth of who I have created you to be.